Hey everybody, thanks for coming to science today. I told you I'd be out, so I want to make sure that I remind everyone that first and foremost, being respectful and appropriate to the guest teacher is the way to be, at which point your next goal is to remain as productive as possible following the agenda that you're going to see on the screen, as well as the agenda that's been posted to Google Classroom. So after that, I'll see everybody on Wednesday. So here we go. So ladies and gentlemen, you're going to start off with 5 minutes of typing cat. That the link is posted down below. At which point, 5 minutes of typing cat, and please focus on the basic courses. Again, that would be the courses over here under basic that have you focusing on the home row, top row, and the row below that. Again, 5 minutes of dedicated time. Also, don't forget to sign in with your Google account when you're doing that. Okay, next up. So about 5 minutes of that, 10 to 15 minutes, and it actually maybe, no, 10 to 15 minutes is fine. I'd like you to practice Quizlet. And so the second link, and the third link actually, are going to get you looking at a couple things. The second link brings you to this, what I refer to as the learning portion. And so it helps you move through and become masters of your vocabulary terms based upon the vocabulary puzzle that you got yesterday. So I'm going to recommend that you take the puzzle out and you start putting the puzzle together while you do this. Okay? Start off with this. It'll walk you through. There will be some typing. There'll be some matching and so on and so forth. But I want you to focus on the learning part up here, the learning. Okay? When you're done doing that, say you've gone through all of it and it says that you're mastered, you can hit the back button and you can go to the other link, which has you working on the other possibilities, which you could click on match or any one of those other ones there. But again, while you're learning, I strongly recommend that you go and assemble your vocab puzzle right in front of you while you're typing and learning about these terms. Okay, so have your vocab puzzle handy. Guest teacher, there'll be a few spare puzzles available, just for in case anybody was out the day before. Alright, let's see. So that's about 10 to 15 minutes. Then 5 to 10 minutes. Alright. Most people are pretty much done with this. And this is yesterday's 01 Exploring Materials lab that we were working on. Again, where does that information found? It's attached to this post, but it's also found under classwork. You'll notice here this is Unit 2, and then Unit 2, number 5, Unit 2, Activity 3, 1, Exploring Materials. You click on that. And you want to focus on this PDF. Make sure you've gone and looked at the charts. You've answered the questions. There's 2 analysis questions at the end you really need to answer and put in your notebook. I will be checking these for credit on Wednesday. So please, don't skip out on that. Get your 2 analysis questions done. And please remember, we had the conversation today in class. You do not need to write a letter to the president of Coca-Cola or Pepsi. Instead, focus on you're an environmentalist with that perspective, that lens. And I'd like you to go and choose a material, aluminum, plastic, or glass, and tell me why you think it's best for the environment. So take that route, okay? You do that and you'll get the credit for it. Next, let's see here. All right, so 5 to 10 minutes. I'd like you to begin Assignment 6, Unit 2, Activity 4/2, Investigating Elements. Again, this is found in classwork. So you get to classwork. You'll notice right there, number 6, Unit 2, Activity 4, Investigating, Investigating Elements. All right, so you've got a couple things to do. Before you get started, I strongly recommend that you click on this right here, Activity 4. It's an image. Looks like this. And with this information, what can you do? You can set up your notebook with the next activity. This is Activity 4. So again, you have your left page, you have your right page. I recommend you fill this all in as you're going through. And we will take some time on Wednesday going over some of these introductory topics. But I'd like you to go and get your notebook all set up. Again, answer the opening question on the left-hand side. Define some of the vocab words. And if you can't define the vocab words right off the bat with background prior knowledge, please remember where you can find that information. In the reading. So, now that you've gotten your notebook all set up, you can start by reading the activity. You got your activity right here. And you're going to notice, yes, we've got some terms that are defined. Again, I can be defining this in my notebook while I'm reading. And you're going to notice we have some nice little pictures here. We do get into the materials that are needed. And I don't want you asking the guest teacher for any of these materials. This is a test, meaning that I am looking to see how you do on this portion of the lab so that when we come in on Wednesday, when I see you on Wednesday, if I get good reports and I've seen productivity on this lab, I have no problem releasing the supplies that you're going to need to work with hands-on wise. Okay? However, if behavior is poor and productivity is poor and people are not getting this work done, then I'll have to rethink the lab and maybe have to just scrap it all and just start using textbooks, and that's it. But you're going to notice here there's a procedure, and we're going to kind of skip ahead a little bit only because it says here, use the information in the testing physical properties table that follow the guide. And then you're going to write all your information on the student sheet 2.1. I'll show you what that looks like in a second here. But you're going to notice here, there are some tests that can be done over some physical properties. We've got state, we have appearance, we have malleability, solubility, and density. And so notice what each one of these means. Notice the procedure that you would be doing with an actual sample, and then interpreting the test results. So this is probably where you're going to need to spend most of your time looking at the results, because I would like you to focus on these 4 elements: sulfur, mercury, germanium, and nitrogen. Information's given down below, and once you've read and looked over each one of these, I want you to go and use your worksheet. Now, check this out. This worksheet, I'm giving you a hard copy of it. Guest teacher's going to have that for you. Again, I told you to focus on germanium, mercury, nitrogen, and sulfur, so that's these one right here. You've got some characteristics up at the top. State, solid, liquid, or gas. Appearance, malleability, meaning is it flexible. Solubility, does it dissolve in water. Density, sink or float. That information is explained in those readings underneath those 4 pictures, okay? So where am I going to put this paper when I'm done with it or while I'm working on it? I'm going to fold this paper in half and I'm going to tape it in my notebook right after where I've gone and put this opening 4-box notes setup, all right? So again, after I've gone and filled in my notebook with this information, I begin working on the physical properties of elements worksheet that I can get in class. I'm then going to be making sure that I'm focused on the 4 elements that are at the bottom of this. Again, those 4 elements are sulfur, mercury, germanium, and nitrogen. Again, using the information below to go and answer those questions in that data table. That should take you through the whole period. And then the goal here again, Wednesday, if I get solid reports, we'll start moving into the other elements. All right? Thank you very much, you guys. I appreciate all your help. Make sure you're respectful to the guest teacher and keep the room as clean and organized as possible. Thanks a lot, you guys.